In today's life, people are so bogged down with the stresses and strains that it's hard to relax, never mind meditate. How would you describe the journey for the common man who is struggling day to day to move from kind of relaxing to the beautiful experience of the ultimate meditation that you were describing? Thank you.
You see, I'll give you a modern definition of the word religion. Religion is basically harnessing nature external and harnessing nature internal to reveal the divinity which is already within. You don't create it, you don't generate it, it's already there. But the thing that we are hanging on our baggage seems to kind of makes it difficult for us to realize that we got a deeper dimension of the divinity within us. So religion can be redefined. This is Swami Vivekananda's teaching as harnessing nature external. You see this physical world? If you don't harness it, if you don't feed yourself, how are you going to become spiritual? So harness nature external for your physical requirements, your bodily requirements. Don't miss them out. So harness nature external. Now the modern society that we live in, the Western world that we live in, has done their marvelous job of doing that. Here everybody is physically well looked after, everybody is reasonably well fed, but it's overfed, but they are there. So the external world has been well harnessed. That's why we live in such luxury. We are not at the mercy of nature, physical nature, the external. But in the process of harnessing nature external, we have lost out the second part of the equation, which says harness nature internal as well, otherwise you're going to end up with chaos. You say, how can that be? Let me give you an example. In the process of making money, becoming very successful, achieving certain targets in our business, or our whatever field that we are in, we have ignored nature internal. What is this nature internal? We all have this inner thing, if you like, inner being, which is full of desires. They bubble up. And we kind of sometimes stoke up the fires of desires. We want more desires. We got dinner one, we need one more holiday home. We stoke up the fires of desires. And we kind of wind this up, our inner structure. Unfulfilled desires or frustrated desires become our inner makeup. And that basically demolishes, if you like, the inner man. So the Western world has done extremely well by harnessing nature external, but in the process, they've ignored nature internal. They're paying a heavy price. The greatest disease of the Western world is depression and stress related, because you have to achieve those targets. Even when I teach at Eton College, when I look at the boys, they appear so stressed. I'm worried about them. They get stressed because they have to achieve targets and go to Oxford University and go to the top job in the bank. They are pressurized. They have to operate under this tremendous pressure, so they get broken up. So by stoking up, by not controlling nature, so how do you control nature internal? Keep your desires under check. Harness them. I'm not saying bottle them up, otherwise you become a psychotic case. Harness them and release them in a very systematic manner. Then you can live with life. So those people who kind of harness the inner man, desires basically, can lead a much more, if you like, wholesome life. Otherwise the inner structure is so disjointed. They become a problem and they become they struggle themselves. So the cry in the West is this idea that we have forgotten to harness nature internal. And let me tell you my experience. The modern Western youth I'm interacting with are fully aware something is gone wrong, something is missing. So all this kind of very strong materialistic drive that is no longer appealing. They are growing out, they're maturing very fast. India is not maturing, it's trying to catch up with the West. But the West is maturing very fast, that something is wrong here. This chasing after material things doesn't seem to produce results. It's like chasing after shadows. So now the West is beginning to become mature. You need to go through, look, never vilify. Suppose I say I want to have these 2 houses, I want this £1 million. Let it be, go for it, make £1 million. When you are satisfied, say, I didn't get enough fun out of it, I got bored with it, then you mature. But you need to go through the process. Don't bypass the process, otherwise you become a difficult case. Because then you're bottling up your desires or hiding them. That's not going to solve your problem. You need to go through the process. So we encourage people to go through this very highly materialistic agenda. And then let maturity arise naturally from within themselves, not from outside saying, oh, I'm waving a stick at you. Maturity will come. You say something has gone wrong. And when that happens, that natural stirring up will reveal the divinity which is within. Then they begin to harness nature internal. This is the beauty of this teaching. Harness nature. You see, look, India has not harnessed nature external. They don't have clean drinking water. Harness nature external. Harness nature internal. And reveal the divinity which is already there. It's not generated. You don't conjure it up. You're not inventing it. It's there. It's when you keep these 2 boxes under control so they don't rattle too much, you can hear the sweetness of the spirit. To hear the sweet spirit, you have to keep this noise down. Noise from the external world. And most in the West, we're struggling with internal stress. The stress is that we build up ourselves. We must achieve targets.